Hey, everybody. Welcome to KPR Network. I'm your host, Rashonda Hayes. And today we have a fabulous guest with us, someone that I've known for a very long time. She's a beautiful person inside and out. Kelly Jackson. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm appreciative of the opportunity.
And of course, my other raw co-host, Bake.
Yo, what's happening, Rashonda? It's your man, Bake. You know what I'm saying? Oliver Baker, a.k.a. Bake Nasty, also known as your mama's favorite stepdaddy. Yeah, dig. What's going on? Man, so glad to have Kelly on the show. Man,
Yes.
she been out there kicking up dust. I see on these streets, boy.
Yes, Kelly. I love Kelly's rawness and realness because she does not hold back. She says how she feels, and she don't care how nobody is gonna think about it. But it's always the truth, and it's that truth that people hate to hear. But it's that truth that'll also set folks free if they really just tap it in.
Unapologetically black, right? She is
right.
Unapologetically black.
That's what I like.
Not apologizing to nobody.
That's right. So Kelly, it's interesting because one of the things, this Roe versus Wade thing is going on. And I saw a comment recently about white women asking black women to now jump in and help them, stand on the front line with them, as they always do. They always come and ask us to be right there with them, but really to stand in front of them. And we end up taking all the heat, all the beatings. But they're never really quite there for us when we're going through the issues that we go through as Black women. We never get them to come in and stand with us, right. For issues that affect us. Right. So, and it seems like this whole Roe versus Wade, from just everything that I've been hearing about, it's almost like it's kind of a white woman issue. I don't know. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. We all want to make our choices as women. You know what I'm saying? But I think I mean that in the sense that statistically it's been said that there are more white women having abortions.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's I would say it's a white feminism issue. And white feminism is the most dangerous movement for Black women because, as you said, it doesn't necessarily include us, but yet we're fighting the battle. Mm-hmm. And we all know that, Black women move mountains when they want to, and they know that. And so then it becomes this, do for me again, we need help. But like you said, there's nothing on the return. I do have kind of a theory about all of this, especially because you see some of this, like the Bible Belt states have already overturned or are in the process of overturning Roe versus Wade. Mm-hmm. And as you said, and people do not look up statistics, unfortunately, white women have the most abortions. My thinking is not necessarily that this is even about controlling our bodies, but making sure that white babies are born.
Yes.
I think that, when we went to school, there were, Black, white, Mexican, Asian, and then you had your mixed kids like me. Mm-hmm. And even in the 70s growing up, I experienced a lot of racism because I wasn't Black enough and I wasn't white. And there wasn't really a space for me. I had to learn how to navigate that in a space where I could still honor my Blackness and own that for myself without apology again. But I absolutely think that this is more about protecting, the bloodline, the white bloodline. Everybody has got something in them. You notice they started doing the DNA testing, right? So now the government has all these numbers and all this information available to them. And all of a sudden, this is now an issue that has been, how many years ago was this passed? Why are we overturning something that it has not affected anybody negatively?
Right.
We don't even have enough baby diapers, formula, whatever else for the children that are here right now.
Thank you.
You
Speak on
putting
that.
kids in cages and shit. What are we
Right.
like? What are we talking about for real? Like, what is this really about? That to
Right.
me, there's always, what they say it's about, and then what really is happening behind the scenes that we don't have information. But if you put two and two together, it's always four. It's never going to be eight. And so if you do your research and you do your work, do the work,
That's right.
it is very easy to understand what this is really about. All of a sudden, white replacement theory or great replacement theory or whatever you want to call it is a thing, but you guys won't teach the truth in history. We still lying in history books.
Right.
Replacement theory. There's replacement theory that they're trying to spin, but they don't want to recognize critical race theory because, like my man Fudge said behind the scenes, critical race theory would have them looking like the history that they've shown who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't want that to be seen. That's why it's important, like Kelly said, to do the work, because it's easy to get on these sites and we can regurgitate things that are being said. But again, it's always things behind the scenes, what's not being said,
Right.
what's not being posted. You
Right.
have to dig deeper. And then again, the statistics, you got to go look at the statistics and see what's really going on here.
Right.
Black women are not having abortions at the rate, or even Latino women are not. We're not doing it.
There aren't even enough of us just to withhold that statistic to begin with, because
right.
there are more white people.
That's right.
Right.
But yet we lead the statistics in police murders, and we're the minority. So, we've got, there's just so much. And I say this, we did in my group, we did a book club about how dangerous white feminist movement is to Black
mm-hmm.
women.
Mm-hmm.
It's always it's always made to appear like it helps all women, but if Black women aren't equal to begin with, then everything that is being done doesn't rain on us. We get like the little scraps. You might benefit from that, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to benefit from it, or at least at the same rate that white women will benefit from it.
Exactly. Because, when it was created, the intent, from my understanding, was white women, they didn't want to be looked at as the property of their white men, their husbands. Mm-hmm. And that's what they were. They were pretty much property. They didn't have those equal rights, whereas Black men were standing to, Black men were taking care of their homes. And white and Black women, in the midst of even our struggles, we were fine. We were fine. I think we mess ourselves up sometimes when we get involved in these things that don't involve us at all. So that's where I get you where I understand you saying, Kelly, that it's harmful for us as Black women. We, to me, I think it's harmful mostly because it tears down the structure of the Black family. It's made Black women think that we don't need our Black men, and we don't need our brothers, and we do. We absolutely we do. And so, I think that's part of the issue. What are some other things you think? Do you agree with that white feminism is for, when Black women get involved in it, that it tears down the structure of the Black family, or has the potential to?
I think that it is one of many tentacles that have destroyed the Black family, for sure. I think that Black women have been so set against each other that we really don't come together to unify. If we came together to unify Black women, Black people in general, the greatness and the excellence that exists within us would and that's what they're scared of. That's why they have to keep the family torn down. You said something really important, is that Black women think that they don't need their man. it is that, but it is also that we have had to survive without our men, because the way that the society is conditioned, the school to prison pipeline is real.
It's real.
There's no reason you're going to tell me that we have a $2 million budget for LAPD to have offices on a high school campus. You can't keep some kids under control without the police. And who are they? My son had my very quiet, very humble, non-aggressive child had 2 assault charges on him by the time he was 13.
What?
Over the school to prison pipeline, what they do is I quit my job and I went down there. I was like, we're not doing this. Not every mother can do that. She's got to go to work. She's got bills to pay. Her husband's been in jail because he sold marijuana, and marijuana is legal. Like nothing makes any sense if you really sit down and think about it. It's all tentacles, all these little tentacles that they've kind of deposited into our our lifeline and our bloodline to keep us at a space where we cannot get it together. And it's unfortunate that we are not helping ourselves. I will tell you, I started AFBA, Allies for Black Americans. I have 12,000 white people who want to learn anti-racism education, who want to utilize their white power in a positive way. I said, if we could get Karens to start caring for Black people, listen, we be all right. If they can love us a little bit like they love them dogs, we gonna be all right. But we're not helping ourselves because, one, a lot of us are complacent. 2, a lot of us don't want to do the work because we're tired, and I get that.
Right.
But man, I in creating that Black-led movement where Black people are teaching anti-racism, because white people have zero business teaching anti-racism, period, end of story. I don't care what books you write. You don't experience something. You don't get to talk about something you don't experience.
Agreed.
That's asinine. You wouldn't go into a chemistry room and start teaching history. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
None of it really makes any sense when you just think about it very objectively. But we've got all these other things, name brands, and we got to get the latest this and we got to look at the latest that. And, I used to say stuff in high school. I'd be like, I'm not like, if a guy has a BMW but still lives at home, that's a problem for me. Your priorities are not straight. You're not thinking, you're not forward thinking. You're thinking in the moment of what's going to be cool and what's going to have you this. That is to our detriment, boy. There are things we just will not do because we have to look fly or we can't wear the same. That's not where it's at. The Black unity.
Yeah, the consumerism is really hurting us.
Absolutely.
We're consuming things and that don't benefit. They're not assets to our lives in any way, shape, form, or fashion, Yeah,
and Ro, and they're all distractions, because ultimately, the only thing it does is it drains your pockets, and then it doesn't fulfill you politically, or financially, you know what I mean? It may cure that little social, whatever need you have, but that goes away pretty fast, and then you're left with what? So
because it's all temporary.
Exactly. Just real quick, I just want to say, if you guys like what you seeing here, especially 2 powerful Black women getting it in, telling the truth about what we're going through as a society and as a people as a whole, come and follow KPR Network on YouTube, Instagram, and all the other platforms.
Yes. Thank you, Bake, for that. So, with that happening, and then with the shooting in Buffalo, I want to say rest in peace to those who lost their lives in the shooting in Buffalo, New York. Was another mass shooting also at a church in Laguna, here in California. First, I didn't know where in California, but then when they said it, but I just thought, California, that's where we are. That's too close. It's crazy, but rest in peace to those people, sending love and peace out to those families of those victims. Very sad situation. It's so much we can unpack that. I mean, definitely. I know where our timing is getting short, so we'll have to come back and discuss that. But again, this young man, this young white man, was about the great replacement, and that just shows that there's so much fear of us as a people, and we really have got to get to the point where we know who we are, because it seems like everybody else knows who we are except us.
Right.
We got to get to the point where we know who we are as a people, and begin to love one another and look out for each other, and all the hating and the competition and comparison and all of that kind of stuff. That's got to go. That's got to go, y'all. We got to rise. Kelly, were you going to say something?
Oh yeah. I just wanted to say, if we had assets instead of things, we would be more likely to vote differently, because we would want to protect the assets. We don't vote because it doesn't affect us. We think, right? And absolutely affects us. And it affects us negatively all of the time because we don't get involved.
Right.
Loving us, seeking mental health, help, just looking out for each other is something we must begin to do before we can expect anybody else to. That's just basic. You got to love yourself before you can expect. You got to teach people how to love you the way you love you. Nobody's gonna love you like you do, and no one's gonna hate you like you do.
That's right. Ooh.
So it's one or the other. It's one or the other. And coming together and asking for help. I see a lot of Black men getting therapy. Kudos. Thank you. I mean, thank you. Thank you for being, courageous enough. Yeah. Real quick, because I know we do have to leave. I just want to say I listened to Kendrick's album, and that is the most raw truth. That it took so much courage for this Black man to speak some of the things that he's spoken in this album. And it's not like a banger album. It's just not. It's very different. To me, it was like an art masterpiece. And the verbiage is deep, and it's a message for us.
It really is.
And the first thing that happened is people are like, oh, I don't like Kendrick's new album. It don't have no bang. But if you sit and listen, man, it's like church.
The
but we gotta look beyond. Because I'm telling you, these mumble rappers, I can't even understand what the hell they're saying. But hey, the beats be banging. So yeah.
Okay, we're wrapping this up right now, but we are definitely going to come back, y'all, and continue this conversation with the lovely Kelly Jackson and Bake and Robert Allen, who is behind the scenes today. But we want to say thank you guys for tuning in, watching this episode. Like, share, comment, send us an email. Let us know about some other topics that you would like to see. Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Peace.
Thanks, guys.